One thing that I like to do in the summer is grow a garden. Gardens are really fun. I like to grow fruits like tomatoes or strawberries, or vegetables like squash or beans. It's fun. It's neat to pick your own things out of your own garden that you grew. When I garden, I need gloves to keep my hands from getting dirty, and I like to wear a hat to shade my eyes. This hat is really cool because it was my Grandpa Jensen's hat. He always wore a hat, and actually he wore this one the last few years of his life, so it's special. When I wear it, I think about my Grandpa Jensen. Now, plants need a few things too. They need, of course, sun and water to grow, but another thing that helps them is called fertilizer. This is chicken manure, and this is cow manure. Manure is a fertilizer that adds nutrients into the ground, but another name for manure is dung. Now, this can get kind of gross, but dung is just poo. It's animal poo, and there's a lot of nutrients in it. Anything that eats poos, people, animals, pets, insects, it's just a fact of life, and actually it keeps us healthy. We need to be able to do this. But there is an insect that actually eats poo. I warned you this could be gross, but it's just part of their life cycle, and it is a dung beetle. Okay? Dung beetles actually, I know, get ready for this, they actually eat poo, but they're important to our ecosystem. They go around and they clean up the ground, and they'll roll it into a ball, and yes, they do eat it. Now, some of you might have seen something similar on Fantastic Beasts from Harry Potter, and it was this large beetle, but a dung beetle's less than an inch long. They're very small. You can get them in America and all over the world. They like to eat the poo from plant-eating animals like elephants and cows. So we are going to read this book, More Dung, about a very important beetle that we need to appreciate, even though they do something really gross. Let's give it a look. More Dung, a beetle tale. A dung beetle tale, to be precise. There he is. Flying away. At first light, a dung beetle thanked the sun for its warm rays. He walked to the bottom of the hill and listened to the gurgling river. Then he raised his arms to the sky and waited, grateful for whatever he might receive. You think that's an elephant? What's he gonna get? Splat! Oh, gross. He looks happy about it, though. The beetle packed the dung into a ball and pushed it homeward. Looks like a lot of work. It's bigger than him. Whenever he lost his way, he was guided home by the sun and the night sky. And when a challenger appeared, he wrestled to keep his dung ball, fighting over poo. Ha ha! Ew. At the top of the hill, the beetle stopped to marvel at the magnificence and mystery of the endless forest. He was snacking on his dung ball when a leopard interrupted. Ooh. He looks comfortable. Why do you toil so, tiny dung beetle? Asked the leopard. You work so hard for so little. So it is, replied the beetle. I don't have much, but the forest always provides enough. That may be, said the leopard, but I have seen a farm at the end of the valley with more dung than any beetle could dream of. When the beetle awoke the next morning, his ball of dung seemed smaller somehow, and for the first time he wondered whether it really was enough. "Never mind," he said, and he pushed his dung ball, but it was stuck. He gave the dung ball a mighty shove. Ugh. It tumbled downhill and plunged into the river. Ah! He's chasing after his ball of poo. Oh! From the cliff, the beetle saw a farm gleaming at the end of the valley like a dark jewel. He left the sunny hillside that morning. He traveled by day. Oh, look, the birds are telling him to go that way, but he's going that way. And at night, it still says, go that way. The farm was enormous and frightening, but the beetle raised his arms to the sky and waited. Splat! Whop! Plop! Ew! The beetle soon had more dung than he knew what to do with. He put other beetles to work, collecting dung all day and night, and his pile grew bigger and bigger. He stood watch over his workers, making sure that no one stole from him. No matter how much he had, the beetle wanted more. Uh-oh, he's getting greedy. I think he's going to have too much crap. His empire grew larger. Sometimes the beetle longed for his sunny hilltop, and he wondered if he could ever find his way home. But when he looked up, he could no longer see the sun or the night sky. Yeah, looks different than his hilltop. One day, the gigantic pile trembled and shivered, and a tiny nugget of dung sprang loose. The earth shook as the nugget turned into an avalanche. The beetle's empire collapsed in a whir, and everything turned black. Oh no, that's going to be so gross. Ah! Ooh, he's in a pile of poo. Trapped in the dark, the beetle ached for his sunny hilltop and gurgling river. All that was lost to him now. He stopped struggling and closed his eyes. But it was so dark, he couldn't tell whether his eyes were closed or not. Ew. Suddenly, a pinprick of light appeared, and bit by bit, the darkness disappeared. There's all of his worker beetles pulling out little plops of poo. Ew. As his workers made off with the last of his dung, the beetle sat up. Shoo, he's not in that pile anymore. He scampered from the cowshed and found his way to the stars and the moon. He hurried on, and the sunlight guided him. Go that way, go that way. There he goes. The next morning, the beetle thanked the sun for its warm rays. He marveled at the boundless forest and the river below. Magnificent, he said. Is it so? Said the leopard. The beetle arrived at the riverside and raised his arms to the sky. I think you know what's gonna happen. Black. The end. Ew. What do you think this beetle learned? Perhaps to be happy with what you have. You don't always have to have everything to be happy. And too much crap is sometimes a bad thing.